Hello and welcome to Steve's Bees. I'm Steve and these are my bees. Now today I'd like to give a big thank you to the people of Norton, the village I live in. I've been down to the Forge, which is a little pop-up shop on our village green, and we've had the observation hive out, and I've had a thoroughly enjoyable day teaching people about bees, just talking to people, showing them what bees look like, telling them what they do in the hive. But anyway, one of the questions I got was, I've got the observation hive there. What's going to happen to the observation hive now? So this evening, I just thought I'd show you what we're going to do with this Obs hive. So here's the Obs hive. People at Norton will have seen this today. And if you look carefully, the queen is the centre shot, so she's still happy, but she's still in the top box. Now, one of the problems with this Obs hive I've had today is that it is too full of bees. So it's a 5-frame nucleus that they're in. So really, they need to go into a full-size hive now. So this evening, I'm actually going to put them into a full-size hive. So, okay then, here we are. Now, I've just put a full-size hive next to the Obs hive. So this is this big green one here. It's already got a few drawn frames in. So all we need to do now is essentially just transfer the frames that are in the observation hive into this nice new hive. So first of all, we'll give the Obs hive a bit of a smoke. Just let them know we're coming. That calms the bees down because it forces them to eat honey. It also masks any alarm pheromones that are hanging around. So hopefully these are going to be on their best behaviour. So I'll start off, I'll just unclip the observation hive section. If anybody's interested, this type of observation hive is actually called a Belfast observation hive. I don't know why, but obviously they were designed in Belfast. And we shall just take that off there. Just lift this off. Now it might be stuck down, which it is. Bees are very good at sticking things together. Remove the sensor. And there we are, we just lifted off. Now the queen is still in here. I've just seen her in there, so I know she's safe. So for the moment, we're just going to leave them in there. And if you look in this hive, what you can see, you've got 4 frames plus a feeder. So we'll just give these a bit of a smoke. And I'll just force them down, so hopefully I'm not going to crush any bees when I'm just lifting them out. I'll also remove the temperature sensor which was in there earlier. That'll give me a bit more room to work. And then it's just a simple case of taking the frames out. Now just gently, don't want to damage any bees. And that's the first frame we've removed. So all that's on those bees, we don't have any brood. There's a little bit of nectar, and you can probably see the darker cells, they're actually pollen. Some red pollens, some yellow pollens, all different colours. And that side of the frame isn't drawn yet. So I'll put that in there first. Now changing the hive, yes, it will confuse them initially. But what you'll find is the bees that are in the hive already will start fanning at the entrance to the hive, and they'll start fanning a pheromone out called Nazinov. And that tells the bees where they are. It's like a come and find me pheromone. The next one. So that is all nectar. I gave them a really big feed before we brought them out to the forge today. So lots of sugar syrup in there, being stored in the frame. Oh, we've got some brood here. I don't know if you can see this nice biscuit coloured brood. That's sealed brood, and that'll be bees that'll be hatching shortly. And I don't know if you can see there, but there's some bees with all the way down inside the cells, face down. Now they're in there, they're actually cleaning the cells for its next occupant. Keep a bit of smoke going. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's loads of eggs here. So this was where the queen was laying the other day before I moved her into there. But really, these are very nice, calm, gentle bees. You can tell if the colony is going to be nasty because they'll start flying at you as he's trying to manipulate the colony. I don't have a lot of room in this apiary, so it can be a bit tight. And that is just a frame of stores. That is stored nectar, a bit of pollen, and we'll just put that in there. They actually haven't got a lot of pollen, but there's not a lot coming in at the moment. Now then, what we now need to do is get the queen out of this one here. And I'm just going to move that down to here. Just knock the bees off. And we'll just gradually just lift off the cover. Is it going to come? Just try taking it off that way then. Bees, as I say, are very good at sticking stuff down. And you have to very, very gently lift her out. So there's the frame you would have seen today. The question is, where's the queen? Always is. I know she's here somewhere. In fact, there she is. So there she is, quite safely going about her business. Now we'll just gently put that frame in there. Obviously we've still got a lot of bees in there. Just to keep them happy, I'll just give them a bit of smoke, calm them down. And then we're just going to push these frames together. Now you can see here, they're all clustering on the edge of the frame, which is a nightmare because as soon as I close up these frames, they'll get crushed. So we'll just give them a bit of smoke, just to move them out of the way. And there we are. And finally, we just need to get the rest of these bees out of the actual observation hive. And this is just a shake. Shaking them off like this doesn't harm them. That's clear. We'll then do the other side. Give them a bit of smoke, make them go down. And they are tending to cluster a bit. So we'll give them a tap. Oop. Be very careful what you're doing with these. So there's all the bees in the hive. Now there is a space there, and I will need to put some two more frames in there, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that'll need 2 more frames in there. So it should be 11 frames in here. But I will do that tomorrow when I get some made up. Now, next, I'm just going to put the feeder on. This is a rather large feeder. So I'm just going to shake all the bees that are on the front of the hive into the new hive. It's got the majority of them. Now what I will do is I will leave the Obs Hive in the apiary overnight, just for any bees that are left in here, and they will leave here and fly into here. So now I'm going to put them a feeder on. Slide it over a little bit, gives a bit more room, because I do need to look in that one in a moment. So we'll now give them a feed. Now this is just sugar syrup, 2 parts sugar to 1 part water. This time of year we need the bees to have as much stores as they possibly can to make sure they get through the winter. So we just pour this into the top. This is a feeder. The bees can come up a hole here and down inside the mesh. That should normally be closed. They'll come up a hole there, down to the mesh. This doesn't flow into the hive, but the bees will come up and take it down. And finally, we have the crown board. Goes on there. This one has a clever little entrance block. You notice this hive is polystyrene, something we are gradually moving over to. Sustainability wise, I don't know how good they are, but for keeping bees warm, they work very well. But there we are, they're now all moved in. Now the old feeder that was in there still got a bit of sugar syrup in, so I'm just going to put that under the entrance, so the bees that are in it can climb up and into the hive. And one of the things I do need to do is just make sure the entrance is open, which it is. So I thought, as a little bit of a bonus, as the people with Norton are so nice, I've got another nucleus hive here. Now, originally my plan was to actually put this hive in the Obs Hive, but when I checked it the other night, the queen wasn't laying. She's a brand new queen, and she just hasn't got mated yet. But hopefully, we've had some good weather the last few days. I'm hoping that she's actually gone out and got mated. So I thought, why not just have a quick look and see what they're doing. See if she is mated, see if she is laying. So it's got a brand new queen in it, hopefully. Again, give them a little bit of smoke at the entrance. Take the roof off. Now on this one we have got a feeder. I am feeding them at the moment. And they have taken all the feed, so I might have to fill that up later on. I won't do it just yet. Let's just have a quick look, see what they're doing. This was one I split from the parent hive about 4 weeks ago now. So the queen should take about 16 days to hatch, the new queen, but then she can take anything up to 4 weeks to get mated. Hopefully she's got mated early. So let's just have a look. So that is all sugar syrup. No sign of a queen there. Again, very nice calm bees. I'll just leave that one out while I do the rest of the frames. Just you leave one out, it just gives you a bit of space to work with. Now all I'm seeing on this one is pollen, which is actually, in some ways, a good sign. We know there's going to be a queen. They think they might have a queen. And I'm just going to shine that to the light. Now I'm looking at these cells, and you probably, well, I won't be able to show it on camera, but the bottoms of the cells have been polished. That is a really good indication that the bees think they've got a viable queen. They polish the cells with something called propolis, which is like an antiseptic. They gather it from trees. In fact, there's some. That's propolis there. That's the. It's like it's a bit made out of tree resins. But the bees gather it themselves. Oh, in this garden, they also gather it off any of my spare beekeeping equipment. So all the time I'm looking at these frames, I am looking for the queen. Oh, I mean, this one won't be marked, so like the other one. So I've got to be, my eyes have got to be really peeled. To be honest, I really need a small child, because I always find small children the best at spotting queens. Again, they've got polished cells. Yeah, well, I know there's a queen in here. You can tell by the temperament all the time, most of the time, when there's a queen in here. Because if there's no queen, the temper can be a bit skewy. They can be a bit tetchy, but these are lovely, friendly bees. So I know there's a queen of some sort in here. Whether she's mated or not, I don't know. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but there's some bigger bees here. These are actually drone bees. So this time of year, colonies, if they've got a mated queen, they throw the drones out. So they haven't thrown these out yet. The drones' entire function, and I'm sorry about the traffic, is to mate with the queen. I'm just using the sunlights behind me just to look in the cells. Well, you can see, I mean, these are bringing honey in. I don't know if you can see this here. This is this white cappings. That's capped honey up there. Right, we'll get to the final frame. As ever, it's glued up. This tool I'm using is actually called a Hive Tool, and it's specially designed for inspecting hives. Now, these are just getting a little bit tetchy, but it's probably because I've had to prise that frame across from the wall of the hive. This is newer comb. You can tell by the colour of the comb whether it's old or new, and this is actually quite new. So at the moment, she's not mated. So I'm just going to gently push all these frames back. Have another look on this one. This one would have been, if you've got a mated queen, this would have been good to have in the Obs Hive because there's not a lot of bees, unlike the other one. Definitely nothing there. I'll have another quick look on that one, you never know. No, I can't see any queen in there at the moment, but it might be the wrong time of day really. I think I might have a look in here tomorrow when the bees are out flying. If the bees are out flying, then there won't be as many bees in here, so you'll be able to see more. That's the framing. Always push them together. It's always a good idea to push your frames back together because if you leave a gap, the bees will just fill it with propolis or wax, which makes the hive even harder to get apart. And believe me, if you're trying to pull a hive apart that's not being touched and it's all gummed up, the bees get very angry. Because as soon as you start breaking things apart, you release alarm pheromones and things. I'm just going to clean up some of these frames. This is just propolis. This is the nemesis of the beekeeper, some people call this. I mean, my dad sticks it in his tea to drink it because it has antibiotic properties. Supposedly you don't get colds. And I can tell, I can hear, I don't know if this comes across in the video, I can tell they're getting a bit annoyed because I'm disturbing them. It's getting a bit cold, well, it's getting towards the end of the day, and they're beginning to roar a bit. So, anyway, we'll put the feeder back on. I'm not going to fill it up tonight, but I will fill it up in the morning. Make a nice coffee break. I'm working from home tomorrow, so it's gonna make a nice coffee break. This, and there we go. And I'll keep you informed whether this one gets mated or not. Good night, Norton.